afternoon. This is Nita and Miss Panda with the Timepiece Garden, and she has already taken off. Well, hello, Mr. Bee. The bees are always happy. All right, what are we gonna do today? We're gonna plant some blueberries. I got some stuff for the workshop. I got a bucket so I can go get some rabbit manure for the blueberries, and we're gonna focus on blueberries. Once the blueberries are in, then we're gonna finish or start the wall portion of row number 1 in Garden 2, since I'm doing blueberries in Garden 2. We're just gonna focus on Garden 2 today. So, let me go get the rest of the tools that I need. This is just the stuff from around the house and off the porch. And I'll talk to you in a few. All right, Garden 2, Panda's back. You know, she'd come in, check it out, make sure it was safe for my, now she's gonna go off looking for rabbit squirrels. Asparagus is doing awesome. Obviously, I have not been out here in a couple of days, and I need to come out and harvest some more asparagus. You know, the 2 garlics that I have are coming along just fine. Onions are, again, doing fine. I'm getting ready to, and I love it, they're getting ready to flower. But I'm gonna let them all flower so I can just fill this in with walking onions, because I want onions from the bricks to where this log sticks out. This is all got to be walking onions. Alrighty. Yeah, so the ground's kind of soft because of all that rain we've been having, which is good. By the time I'm digging blueberries or putting in that row of bricks, it should be relatively easy to work. Alright, so, yes, I know I got to move a couple of strawberries. One of the blueberries goes right there. So, looks like those strawberries in that circle are going to have to get moved. It's not a problem. You can see where there's a couple down there. There's a, I don't know, a hole, basically a blank spot. Move a couple strawberries there. Got plenty of blank spot here. And then I'm going to have to move some of these strawberries because the other blueberry is supposed to go right here. I've always put them together. I have blueberries and strawberries. Blueberries are acidic loving, so are strawberries. I just have to be careful with these. These strawberries are June bearing, really fat, bloom heavy now. Great blueberries come June, big fat ones, you know, yum. These guys over here are ever bearing. They don't get as big or as fat. So if I want to do like strawberry jelly or strawberry jam, do those because I get a large volume all at one time. And then these I just have strawberries all year long. All right, that's the goal. Starting with the strawberries. Or strawberries, yeah, strawberries and blueberries, that's where I'm starting. When I'm done with strawberries and blueberries, then I will start working on the bricks on that row. And that means I forgot the tape measure. Crap, all right, gotta go back. I need to get the tape measure and a couple other things. Just so once I get going, I'm going. Part of that is measuring out. Since this brick row is in, the size from, you know, this brick to where I want the next row of bricks is already determined. The next row of bricks kicks off of this one right here and then goes straight across. Didn't put them in like I did at that far side there. That one's in, this side is not, because I didn't want to move my walking onions yet until I'm ready to move them. But having that dimension, knowing where I want it to go, I can measure out exactly how wide I want the walking space, and that way I can know exactly where I want the back row of bricks here. And just everything tends to move off of that. So, what did I forget? I forgot the hammer so I can tap my sticks in. I forgot the string so I can mark my lines. And I need a couple of my, I don't know, my little post thingies. So, gotta go back to the shop and get 3 more things. Just that way I have everything here that I need to have. Side notes. Things you gotta love. This is yellow wood sorrel. Isn't that awesome? Kind of looks like a clover leaf. It's not, it's in the shamrock family. Again, yellow wood sorrel, do your research. This is blooms. When they are done blooming, they produce a little fruit. Looks like a miniature okra. Really tiny, really small okra. Tastes like dill pickle. Now the whole plant's edible. Flowers, leaves, you know. I tend to save it for the fruit. Let the fruit do what it needs to do. But it's cute to see them. All right, having said that, Panda's already off saving the world, and I need to get busy. Talk to you later. I hope you can hear me over the wind. Panda's been killing toxic lizards in the garden today. That's been her job. First hole is prepped. Strawberries have all been moved. I put a little log border around the blueberry. I remembered last year that these guys got so big that the bottom or the base of this blueberry didn't get any sunlight. And when I had that slug issue, you know, I don't want it to hurt the blueberries as well. So this year I figure I'll put in just a little logs. Now they'll break down and add to the hugelkultur, so the plants will love it, but it'll also let me know that anything that sticks out past the log comes off. You know, and just it's a reminder for me, and that way there's always some sunlight getting to the base of the blueberries. Should I end up with a slug or a fungus problem in the strawberries again this year, does that make sense? It shouldn't impact the blueberries. Now it didn't last year, but we're not gonna let it regardless. All right, now back to the can, or to the blueberries. So I'm gonna pull this out of its base. When I do that, I tend to wriggle around from the bottom and loosen up the roots and spread them left and right, top and bottom, so the hole is wide and it'll fill around that entire hole with the roots, not just straight down. That way they get the benefit of the good rich soil. It makes sense, before they ever get down to the, how do I say it, the Arkansas dirt that's below it and the rocks. Does that make sense? They get the strength when they need it at transplant. And then there's everything that I pulled out and it'll go back on top of them. Do you know? Whew. At which point in time I will log it as well. You know, logs like that. And then we'll just log the next one, log the next one, log the next one, log the next one, and then move strawberries and log the last one. So I'll show you some more as I get it done. Alrighty, all the blueberries are in. Again, these are ever-bearing strawberries. Any of the strawberries that I had to move at the far end, which are my June bearing, are up here, which has always been the plan because I don't want my June bearing growing in the same area as my ever bearing. You tend to treat them a little differently and or feed them a little differently. So when you get the June fruit, they're large, they're fat, they're juicy, and there's an abundance in June. Ever bearing, again, because they'll go all season long till first frost, and if you actually cold frame them, they'll bloom all winter long. So the feeding is different. Why that's not a problem, if they mix and you feed the June bearing like you do your ever bearing, you're going to end up with a lot of green and not a lot of fruit. So, whew. And then there are other reasons. The whole reason why I moved the June bearing up here is you can tell right now it's in a little bit of shade, where if you look down there, they're in full sun. That end of the garden is the hottest end of the garden. That's why I put the onions down there, and the asparagus tends to do well down there. This end of the garden has always got dappled shade, and when the tree finishes budding out, it has a lot more shade than it has sun. For the June bearing, because they're an alpine strawberry, they will like that dappled sun with more shade. They will do awesome over here. It tends to be too hot for them over there. They struggle come August just because it's just so hot and so much heat for them. So the goal was to, again, plant the blueberry, move some of the June strawberries over here. You know, let's see how many of these actually make it, because not necessarily the right time to be moving them. If these don't fruit this year, that's okay. That makes sense, but they've been moved. Those will still fruit, the ones that I've not touched. And that way we can just, you know, any of these that die out, I can move some others, and then over time let my ever-bearing go all the way down and maybe sell some June-bearing, a couple of farmers markets or something, you know, with the elderberries. We'll see. Anyway, that's the thought process. So, and then from there, again, I put the wood around it to remind me not to let the strawberries go to the base of the blueberries. The new ones I completely filled in with wood because I don't have any extra wood chips. And this way their soil stays not necessarily moist, but it doesn't get hot with the sun beating on it. Again, that one I just kind of wrapped in wood. This is the one that struggled last year. Only gave me 9 leaves. Well, I've got more than that on it this year. But I'm gonna go ahead and cover up his roots like that with the wood. See if that'll help him, because he's right on that cusp where it gets a lot of shade to not a lot of shade. I don't know, these two are doing awesome. This one here, again, I wouldn't put a lot of wood around him to help keep him cool, his roots cool, since this will be his first season. Keep the strawberries out of him, and we'll see. We'll go from there. All right, what's next? Next is the wall. Panda's over there. Get to work, Mom. Get to work. Move to bricks. You see her? She's looking at me. She's also looking at, did you find another lizard, Mom? All right, let me get on to the next task. I'll talk to you in a while.